Eid al Adha, also known as the Feast of Sacrifice, is one of the two most important Islamic holidays celebrated worldwide by Muslims. The other one being Eid al-Fitr, which marks the end of Ramadan, the month of fasting. Now, what's the meaning of Eid al Adha? Well, Eid means celebration or festival, while Adha refers to sacrifice. So put together, Eid al Adha signifies the festival of sacrifice. The word sacrifice in this context doesn't just mean the giving up of something valuable, but it's more about the spirit of giving the willingness to part with something that is dear to one's heart for the sake of obedience to God and for the love of humanity. So when exactly is Eid al Adha celebrated? It's on the 10th day of Dhu al-Hijjah, which is the last month in the Islamic calendar. This day is also known as Arafat Day, because on this day Muslims around the world are encouraged to gather together at the Arafat Plain near Mecca. It's considered mandatory duty for all Muslims to be there, and they spend the day in prayer and reflection before returning home in the evening to celebrate Eid al Adha. The celebration usually begins after the midday prayer, where Muslims, young and old, dress in their finest clothes, exchange greetings, visit family and friends, and share meals together. It's a time for joy, gratitude, and reinforcing the bonds of brotherhood and compassion. What's the significance of Eid al Adha? To understand this, we need to look at the story of Prophet Ibrahim, also known as Abraham in the Bible. When Prophet Ibrahim was about to sacrifice his son Ismail, also known as Ishmael, as an act of obedience to God's command, an angel stayed his hand and provided a ram to sacrifice instead. This act of Prophet Ibrahim is a central event in the history of humanity. It teaches us about submission to the will of God, the importance of fulfilling promises, and the value of human life. In fact, the entire episode is mentioned in the Qur'an, Surah 2, verse 130 to 137. And it's not just a historical account, but a profound lesson in faith and devotion. It reminds Muslims of the trials faced by prophets of old, and encourages them to emulate their steadfastness in the face of adversity. So, what should we learn from the story of Prophet Ibrahim and his son Ismail? Primarily, we learn about the power of faith. Imagine being willing to sacrifice your own child. That requires an extraordinary level of trust in God's plan and purpose. Secondly, we learn about the importance of staying true to our promises. Prophet Ibrahim didn't hesitate to fulfill his promise to God despite the personal cost. Lastly, we learn about the value of human life. The sparing of Ismail's life emphasizes the sanctity of life and the mercy of God. As we reflect on these lessons, may we also remember the less fortunate, particularly those who have sacrificed dearly for our freedom and independence. May their sacrifices not be in vain, but continue to inspire us towards righteousness and good. So that's a quick introduction to Eid al Adha. Got questions about Islam? Just drop them in the comments below. I'd love to chat. And hey, make sure to stick around for more awesome videos. Wishing you all a wonderful Eid al Adha.